So if you guys have really been itching for a shooter to play on the Nintendo Switch, because it has been very dry with shooters right now, Bulletstorm Duke of Switch Edition actually dropped the same day as Astral Chain, which sometimes drives me crazy, but as of right now, this is going to be just a dumb fun game for you just to jump in, get some explosive kill shots, and just have some fun. So we're going to dive deep into Bulletstorm Duke of Switch Edition, because I have some interesting thoughts about this game. So stick around this review and let's go ahead and jump right into it.
You know how much I love that Nintendo Switch!
What's going on, Switch fam? It is your boy QKG, and let's go ahead and jump into Bulletstorm Duke of Switch, because I've honestly have been someone who kept my eye on this game for quite some time. I remember back in the day when G4 was still a thing, they made a big deal about this game, because at the time everything was mimicking Call of Duty, and this game was going to break that cycle. So it was actually focused on just score-based kills, making pretty interesting kills, whether it's using the environment, different alternative fires on your weapons, or just doing different combos with your leash and boot. So as of right now, Duke of Switch is on the eShop for $30 right now, and let's just go ahead and jump into the story. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. This story is buns. I'm sorry, I'm just going to flat out say it. It gives me a Gears of War feel to it, just how the characters all look bulky and, you know, they got weird armor and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, Grayson is the biggest douchebag I've ever played as a protagonist, and this is just my personal opinion. The game itself is fun, it has some redeeming factors, but he's actually voiced by a really famous voice actor. Excuse me if I can't remember the name right now, but he's literally voiced Wolverine in every single video game into a cartoon, and he's actually voiced Mugen off of Samurai Champloo, which has been my shit. And he's also voiced Spike, who was in Cowboy Bebop as well. The dude is a very seasoned voice actor. It's extremely nuts how good of a voice actor he is. And he voices freaking Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. Like, come on, son. As of right now, this game it was very edgy at the time. That's why this game has an option for you to filter out, like, the mature language if you want. At some points, I wish I did, not just because it wasn't good or like I had virgin ears or anything like that. It's just more of, they were very unnecessary combinations that sometimes weren't really funny at all. And I was just like, okay, it's kind of a little awkward, but I feel like it was maybe a little dated at the time. Maybe this was edgy for that time frame. So they were just, and then like the commander of the game, who's the main villain, he's like combining all these weird cuss words, like calling you like a dick queef and stuff like that. And I'm just like, alright, it's alright, dog. Like, and then he's even more of a douche than Grayson. So Grayson is the very main character. I just call him Gray for short. He's actually like this kind of like space pirate in a way, to where they're usually flying around in space, you know, going to different planets. So what? And the game literally opens up as him drunk interrogating the guy, trying to figure out what's the bounty on his head right now. And then in a drunken rage, Ishii's trying to calm him down, and he's like, no, screw that, we gonna kill him. Then he gets his whole squad flex, and he's like, I'm gonna take y'all all with me. And then he boosts through something, and then next thing I know, he's literally climbing a building, going to assassinate some public figure or something like that. It was making no sense. And then just the overall pacing of the story, it left me very uninterested. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Character wise, Gray is just a douche. Ishii, he kind of went through hell and back. Ishii was literally one of his like right hand squad mates. Ishii ended up getting flexed something mean, to where his whole mind got merged like with an actual like AI. So now he's kind of in a mix between being somewhat human and somewhat robot. So he's literally to the point where there are times where the robot version of him takes over and his eye glows red and stuff like that. But his whole intuition is now just corrupted. So Ishii is, and then Ishii's pissed off at him, because I mean, come on now, you're like merged with a robot, I'd be mad too. Have the other female character, Trishka, which you run into, which she, honestly, I like Trishka. She's cool. She is literally just giving him the cold hard facts of how stupid and how much of a douchebag he is. So I like her that much. And I mean, she's a badass too. Like, I mean, that character I had zero problems with. But Gray, he was a douche. So let's get into the saving grace of this game, which is the gameplay. I honestly have to say, this gameplay is spectacular. Still, I remember when I played the demo, I played it non-stop for a long time, just because this game is not catered just to killing enemies as fast as you can. It's killing enemies as stylish as you can. So if you've had fun with like the Devil May Cry series, this gives you a more of a skill shot perspective on things. So you can actually use your leash to pull enemies in, and it gives you like a little slow-mo effect, same way as if you were to give them the Sparta kick boot to the chest. It will give them that slow-mo effect where you can get some shots in, or you can kick them again, pull them back towards you, kick them again. You can just do some crazy combos and use your environment to your advantage. So if you have a cactus over there, they're gonna get their ass stuck. Or if you have a exposed wire section over there, you can throw them over there, they get zapped, and they get that nice little funny like wailing, flailing arm action. And then if there's just some exposed flames anywhere, dump them in there, barbecue their ass. Like it's literally so many different things you can do within the game to keep yourself invested and keep yourself having fun. Because as buns as this story is, there are had times where this the actual story is decent. There are times where Grayson is not too much of a douche, or there's the funny moments where he's just stupid, and then Trishka's like, "Are you really that stupid?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's just kind of weird. The dude in itself, whenever Trishka and him interact, I do like it. Just because it's a pretty good dynamic, because Trishka is clearly just not even just more intelligent, but just more aware, more common sense. And Grace is just a douche. I'm sorry, he's just a douchebag. I hated playing guys. So also with the gameplay, you do have the option to turn on like a fully voice acted Duke Nukem if you want to. So if you want some of that good old cheesy time to kill type of Duke Nukem voice, you definitely have that option as well too, because you can literally turn that on. He's fully voice acted, always in the cutscenes as well too, and every time you kill an enemy or do some crazy stuff like that, he's gonna say something. He's gonna say a one-liner. So if you want to play the game as Duke Nukem, because we all know Duke Nukem Forever was straight buns, so if you definitely want to enjoy the game as Duke Nukem, there you go. I will say the game does not have a lot of weapons, just to be honest with you. The Peacemaker Carbine is my favorite, just because the weapon is just satisfying to look at, and then it's alternative fire. Each weapon will have this devastating move. For the Peacemaker Carbine, it will charge up at least 100 rounds and then shoot them dead into an enemy, completely barbecuing these boys. And for the shotgun, you get like this weird like atomic area to where it just melts everything. And then the revolver is my favorite, just because it has like this little firework at the end of it. So when you shoot it, it shoots into the enemy, and they just go up in the air, spreading all around and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. So I will say the game's alternative fire when it comes down to the weapons were a pretty nice touch, but it's not a lot of weapons to really keep you into it. But to be honest with you, there were plenty of times where I didn't even have to shoot a bullet to kill enemies. You can just use your leash, kick them into stuff, just have a blast with it, man. It really doesn't matter exactly, you know, how many weapons are in the game, as long as the weapons that are in the game have quality to them, which that I do like. But at the same time, I do wish there was maybe one or two more weapons. But right now, I'm still satisfied with what we got. So the final verdict for Bulletstorm Duke of Switch, at the bottom of the scale, we always start off with what happened, like if the game is really buns, and then we go up to a meh, like I didn't like it, a needs work, decent, and Fuego boy if the game is really fire. And honestly, just because this game has been finished since 2011 and they're not getting updates to it, it's just decent. I can't say it needs work because there's no work to put into it. It's just the single player shooter, and you have the Echo game mode at the end to where you can do like a score base, just like an alternative mode to play once you beat the game. But other than that, that's it. There's not much else to it. So the game is a decent pickup. But right now, in this ecosystem where there's a ton of games coming, we got Blasphemous coming out, then you got the Sinking City, which I've been looking to play that game, and ever since I heard it was coming to Switch, I literally held off getting it on PC just because I want to play the Switch version. So as of right now, there's too many games coming out. To be honest with you, I would save that $30 to get something bigger that's coming out. You got Daemon X Machina coming out, you have the Sinking City coming out, Blasphemous coming out, so many different games coming out. But if you're looking for a shooter to play, this honestly helped me over. I just feel like the game was released at the wrong time. If this junk came out in like May or June, where there was literally no shooters to play, it would have been a no-brainer to definitely release this game at that time. I feel like they just released it too late, and it was really sporadic. They just threw it out. You can even pre-order the game. Had no idea it was coming either. They just threw the game out. So at least it's finished. At least there's pretty good optimization. There's even video settings in the game, which I was really surprised at. As of right now, there was no option to get like high performance how Darksiders War Master Edition had, but it had to be pretty decent settings in the game too. And just overall, Bulletstorm is a pretty decent game. Besides the story, gameplay's fun. Just a fun game. So I would love to thank you guys for tuning in this review, and thank you for being patient with your boy, because it took a lot for me to get this review out. So I'd love to thank you guys for tuning in. We got more games out on the way, so leave them comments down below on some games you want me to review next, because we got plenty of games coming on the way. I would love to thank you guys for tuning in. This is your boy QKG, and peace out.